For my timeline project, I did Guns in American History by Kris. So my essential question was, what were the most influential guns in American history? So first slide is the matchlock gun. The matchlock guns were invented during the 1400s, and these guns were fired by lighting a wick and pulling the trigger mechanism. It would cause the wick to go down into a touch hole where it would touch the gunpowder inside the barrel and cause the gun to fire.
Wait, we have to present all that shit today?
We have to make a video. The long-term cause of this event is that before this, people had to physically hold the wick up to the touch hole. The immediate cause of this event was that guns were evolving around the world and manufacturers wanted to innovate. The short-term effect of this invention was you no longer had to carry your wick and keep track of it. The long-term effect of this was evolution of guns was pushed further. Wheel lock guns. Wheel lock guns is basically just a modification onto the one before this, and the wheel lock worked by replacing wicks with a piece of metal which would use friction to create the sparks, and this is a lot better because gunsmiths or people didn't have to carry around the wicks anymore. So that's basically what wheel lock is. Proof test. The proof test is basically gun manufacturers needed to make sure the guns were safe to use, so they'd put an overcharged round into the barrel, and if the gun didn't blow up when it shot it, then it was safe to use. And so they'd put their insignia emblem thing on it, and that's the proof test. Flintlock gun. The flintlock was the first improvement since the wheel lock gun, and it had a few modifications. Like the flash pan was reduced to a priming pan, which used less gunpowder. Flint and steel were attached to the firing mechanism to create a bigger spark to ignite the gunpowder, and unlike its predecessor, which was made to only have a smoothbore barrel, flintlock could adapt to many different parts. It can be made into shotguns, rifles, or pistols. U.S. model 1842 musket. During the olden days, it wasn't exactly easy to get guns, so basically this is the first gun that was produced by two different manufacturers, and this caused the gun to have a lot of interchangeable parts, and I think 103,000 were made by the Harper's Ferry side, and 172,000 were made by the Springfield side, so it's a lot of guns. Pennsylvania long rifle. This long rifle was one of the first rifles to have a rifled barrel, or a threaded barrel, I mean. So that means the straight bore barrels were basically just a tube, and the bullet would get shot through it, but the threaded barrels made the bullet spin while it was in the barrel, so it made it shoot faster. The model 1895 machine gun was made by Colt and Browning in sometime. But it was the first machine gun, and it shot 250 rounds a minute, which was extremely fast for the time because most guns were one-shot reload guns at the time. Yeah, so that was one of the biggest improvements in guns in history. Maxim silencer. Hiram P. Maxim was the son of another guy who invented another machine gun, but this guy, he created the silencer because he was always shooting guns outside his house, and he knew it was disturbing his neighbors, and he didn't want to do that anymore, so he created the silencer, which works by gas is being pushed out of the barrel of the gun, and it is given room to expand and pull inside of the chambers of the silencer. So that's how a silencer works. Next invention was the Gatling gun. This was a great modification to the Colt Browning because the Colt Browning only had one barrel, and that would often overheat and cause unfired rounds in the gun to explode. So since the Gatling gun had 6 different barrels, it shot a lot faster, first off, and not a lot of unused rounds exploded inside. Yeah, So Gatling guns are still used today, and now they can shoot like 2 million rounds a second or something. It's like really crazy. Spencer repeater. The first repeater gun was really important because before that, all guns were just one shot and you had to reload. But Spencer repeater, to reload it, it had a mechanism where you like pull the handle down and then it goes like this and it ejects the old bullet. Then you push it back in, the chamber reloads another bullet, and you're ready to go. So you have like 7 times more bullets that you could shoot in the time that your opponent could probably shoot 1 bullet. So that was a huge advantage to anyone using this gun. The 12-pounder Napoleon, this is my last gun, and it is a cannon actually. The 12-pounder Napoleon was really crucial in the Civil War because all General Lee was using was 6-pound cannonballs, and those could do some damage, but the 12-pounder Napoleon did not, obviously so much more damage, like twice the damage, and it was a really good cannon for short range and long range, and yeah, it was really important, and it helped win the Civil War, so that's good. And those are my different events, so thank you. Yeah.